Hi everyone. Welcome to USA Old Coins X. Today, we dive into one of America's most iconic and fascinating coins, the Eisenhower $1. A coin that celebrates a legendary president, Dwight D. Eisenhower, and honors the incredible achievement of the Apollo 11 moon landing. From its bold design to the intricate details that make it a collector's dream, this coin is more than just currency, it's a piece of history you can hold in your hand. Stay with us as we explore its story, its unique features, and why collectors around the world are so captivated by this remarkable coin. Top 1. The Eisenhower dollar itself was first introduced in 1971 to honor Dwight D. Eisenhower, the five-star general who led Allied forces to victory in Europe during World War II and later became the 34th President of the United States. His portrait, designed by Frank Gasparo, appears strong and dignified on the obverse of the coin. The bicentennial edition retained this powerful image, but it replaced the standard reverse design with something entirely new and deeply patriotic. Instead of the eagle landing on the moon, the reverse now featured the Liberty Bell superimposed over the moon, symbolizing both America's revolutionary beginnings and its achievements in space exploration. It was a brilliant artistic decision that linked the past and the future in a single striking image. The dual date 1776 to 1976 appears boldly on the obverse beneath Eisenhower's portrait. This was not simply a decorative addition. It represented 2 centuries of independence, struggle, innovation, and growth. Every time someone held this coin, they were reminded of the founding year of the nation and the bicentennial celebration that united Americans from coast to coast. Unlike regular annual issues, these bicentennial dollars were struck over a 2-year period, 1975 and 1976, yet all carry the same dual date. That alone makes them unique in United States coinage history. The Eisenhower bicentennial dollar was produced in both clad and silver-clad compositions. The standard circulation strikes were made of copper-nickel clad over a copper core, giving the coin durability for everyday use. However, special collector versions were struck in 40% silver. These silver-clad coins were sold in special mint packaging and were never intended for general circulation. For collectors, the silver versions immediately carried greater intrinsic and collectible appeal. The shine, the weight, and the historical significance combined to create something far more exciting than a standard dollar coin. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Eisenhower bicentennial dollar is its size and presence. Unlike today's smaller dollar coins, the Eisenhower dollar is large and heavy, with a commanding feel in the hand. When you hold one, you immediately sense that it represents something substantial. The detail on the Liberty Bell reverse, especially in well-preserved examples, is stunning. The crack in the Liberty Bell is clearly visible, and the texture of the moon behind it adds depth and dimension. On sharply struck coins, the lettering of United States of America and $1 appears crisp and bold. Millions of bicentennial dollars were produced, but most were heavily used or stored without special care. Circulation strikes often show contact marks, bag marks, and surface abrasions. Because of the coin's large size and the way they were transported in bulk, even uncirculated examples frequently display noticeable marks. This makes finding a truly flawless specimen incredibly difficult. In the world of numismatics, condition rarity is everything. A coin may have a high mintage, but if only a handful survive in pristine condition, those few become extremely valuable. Proof versions of the bicentennial Eisenhower dollar add another layer of beauty and desirability. Struck with specially polished dies and planchets, proof coins feature mirror-like fields and frosted design elements. The contrast between the reflective background and the frosted Liberty Bell creates a breathtaking visual effect. However, even proof coins are not immune to flaws. Scratches, haze, or minor imperfections can reduce their grade. A flawless proof coin with deep cameo contrast is a rare and coveted prize. Professional grading services play a crucial role in determining the value of these coins. Experts examine strike sharpness, surface preservation, luster, and eye appeal under magnification. A single deep mark on Eisenhower's cheek or a noticeable abrasion on the Liberty Bell can significantly impact the grade. Coins that achieve the highest possible grades are extraordinarily scarce. Population reports reveal that only a tiny fraction of bicentennial Eisenhower dollars exist at the very top of the grading scale. Collectors also appreciate the historical symbolism embedded in this coin. The Liberty Bell represents freedom and independence, while the moon symbolizes America's technological achievements, particularly the Apollo missions. The combination of these two powerful icons on a single coin creates a message of unity and progress. It is a reminder that America's strength lies both in its revolutionary roots and its forward-looking ambition. Over the decades, many bicentennial Eisenhower dollars were stored in drawers, albums, or old collections. Some were forgotten, while others were passed down through generations. As interest in modern commemorative coinage has grown, collectors have begun to re-examine these coins with fresh enthusiasm. They search for sharp strikes, full luster, and minimal surface marks. The thrill of discovering an exceptional example keeps the market vibrant. The silver-clad versions hold special appeal because of their precious metal content and limited distribution compared to circulation strikes. While not rare in general, silver bicentennial dollars in flawless certified condition are far less common than many people realize. The large surface area of the coin makes it more susceptible to imperfections, which means achieving a perfect grade is an extraordinary accomplishment. Imagine the excitement of uncovering a bicentennial Eisenhower dollar in pristine condition, untouched by decades of wear. Imagine submitting it for professional grading and discovering that it ranks among the finest known examples. That possibility transforms the coin from a patriotic souvenir into a potential life-changing treasure. The bicentennial celebration itself adds emotional depth to this coin's story. 1976 was a year of nationwide festivities, with communities honoring 200 years of independence. This coin was part of that celebration, circulating as a tangible reminder of the nation's history. Owning one connects you directly to that moment in time. As years pass, the number of flawless survivors decreases. Coins are damaged, lost, or mishandled. Each pristine example that remains becomes more significant. Collectors competing for registry sets seek the highest graded specimens available, driving intense demand for top population coins. The Eisenhower $1 1776 to 1976 stands as a powerful blend of artistry, symbolism, and historical importance. It captures the spirit of independence, honors a respected president, and commemorates 2 centuries of American resilience. While many examples are common, the finest certified specimens are anything but ordinary, among the rarest and most perfectly preserved examples ever discovered. One extraordinary United States of America Eisenhower $1 1776 to 1976 has reached an astonishing value of $300,000. Top 2. The story truly begins with President Dwight David Eisenhower, a 5-star general, a supreme commander during the Second World War, and later the 34th President of the United States. When he passed away in 1969, the nation mourned a leader who symbolized strength, calm leadership, and unity in turbulent times. Almost immediately, discussions began in Congress about honoring him on a circulating coin. At the same time, America was still glowing from the triumph of the Apollo 11 moon landing, an achievement that had placed the United States firmly at the forefront of space exploration. The designers at the Mint saw an opportunity to combine 2 powerful symbols, the portrait of Eisenhower on the obverse and the Apollo 11 mission insignia on the reverse. Thus, the 1971 Eisenhower Dollar was conceived as both a tribute to a respected president and a celebration of America's giant leap beyond Earth. Every detail, from the firm expression on Eisenhower's face to the eagle landing on the moon, tells a story of courage, innovation, and national pride. When you hold a 1971 Eisenhower dollar, the first thing you notice is its impressive size and weight. Unlike the small modern dollar coins that would follow decades later, this coin commands attention. It feels solid, almost monumental, as if it was designed to reflect the magnitude of the man it honors. The obverse features Eisenhower's portrait facing left, his expression serious and dignified, sculpted by chief engraver Frank Gasparo. Above his head arches the word Liberty, while the motto "In God We Trust" appears in clean, confident lettering. The date 1971 sits proudly at the bottom. On the reverse, the eagle descends onto the lunar surface, wings outstretched, clutching an olive branch, symbolizing peace. Behind the eagle, the Earth rises above the horizon, a reminder of how small our world looks from the vastness of space. Surrounding the design are the words United States of America and $1, anchoring the imagery with authority and purpose. It is a design that feels bold, patriotic, and undeniably American, but here's where the story becomes even more intriguing. The 1971 Eisenhower dollar was struck in different compositions and at different mints, creating subtle variations that collectors now scrutinize under magnification. Circulation strikes were primarily made in a copper-nickel-clad composition for everyday use, struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. However, special collector versions were produced in 40% silver, primarily at the San Francisco Mint. These silver issues were sold in blue envelope packaging for uncirculated coins and in brown box packaging for proof versions. The differences may seem small to an untrained eye, but to collectors they are everything. The surface quality, the strike sharpness, the luster, and even the tiniest die characteristics can separate a common coin from a highly desirable treasure. Over the years, experts have identified specific die varieties, peg-leg lettering variations, and striking anomalies that have added layers of mystery and excitement to the 1971 issue. One of the most talked about aspects of the 1971 Eisenhower dollar is the distinction between what specialists call the different reverse types. Early strikes from the Philadelphia Mint, often referred to as Type 1, display a somewhat softer, less detailed depiction of the Earth on the reverse. Later adjustments to the design hub led to a sharper, more defined Earth in what collectors call Type 2. Though the average person might overlook these details entirely, seasoned numismatists know that identifying the correct type can dramatically affect desirability. Under bright light and magnification, they examine the islands in the Caribbean, the clarity of the continents, and the overall relief of the globe. These small refinements in design create a detective story within the coin series itself. Every time a collector discovers a different reverse type in an old collection or inherited coin jar, it feels like uncovering a hidden clue from the past. The 1971 Eisenhower dollar also faced challenges in circulation. Despite its grand appearance, it was not widely embraced for everyday transactions. Its large size made it cumbersome for pockets and cash registers, and many Americans preferred paper currency. As a result, a significant number of these coins were saved rather than spent, particularly the silver collector versions. Yet survival alone does not guarantee value. Condition is everything. Coins that were mishandled, bag-marked, or poorly struck often remain modest in worth, while those rare examples that escaped contact marks and exhibit blazing luster can command intense interest. High-grade coins certified by professional grading services are especially coveted. In top condition, with crisp details in Eisenhower's hair and sharp definition in the eagle's feathers, the coin transforms from a simple commemorative issue into a masterpiece of minting precision. Over the decades, collectors have grown increasingly fascinated by error coins from the 1971 Eisenhower Dollar series. Minting errors, once considered mere production mishaps, are now prized for their uniqueness. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, double dies, and dramatic die cracks can turn an ordinary dollar into a conversation piece. The thrill lies in the unpredictability. Somewhere in the early 1970s, a planchet might have been slightly misaligned, or a die might have shifted just enough to create a doubling effect in the lettering. These tiny moments inside the mint, unnoticed at the time, become the very features that collectors chase years later. Each error coin tells a story not only of national history but of the mechanical heartbeat of the mint itself, where human skill and industrial machinery intersected in fascinating ways. Another factor that adds to the mystique of the 1971 Eisenhower dollar is its connection to the broader narrative of American coinage. This was the first dollar coin issued for general circulation since the Peace Dollar series ended in 1935. For more than 3 decades, Americans had not seen a large silver-colored dollar in their change. The return of a dollar coin symbolized renewal and continuity, bridging the gap between classic silver dollars of the past and modern clad coinage of the future. For collectors who cherish the lineage of American currency, the Eisenhower dollar represents a turning point. It stands at the crossroads between tradition and modernization, between the heavy silver coins of earlier generations and the evolving needs of a rapidly changing economy. As the years passed, the Eisenhower dollar series gained a loyal following. What once seemed bulky and impractical began to feel nostalgic and historic. Coin shows featured tables dedicated to the series, albums were produced with carefully labeled slots for each mint and variety, and price guides began highlighting exceptional specimens. Stories emerged of collectors discovering pristine silver versions tucked away in forgotten drawers, or uncirculated rolls stored in bank vaults. The excitement grew as grading standards tightened and population reports revealed just how few top-tier examples truly existed. In this environment, the 1971 issue, especially in remarkable condition, began to shine brighter. It was no longer just the first year of issue, it was a key chapter in a beloved modern series. Beyond the technical aspects and collector classifications, there is an emotional dimension to the 1971 Eisenhower dollar that cannot be ignored. For many Americans, this coin evokes memories of childhood piggy banks, trips to the bank with grandparents, or the wonder of learning about the moon landing in school textbooks. It carries echoes of a time when space exploration captured imaginations and when national heroes were celebrated with grand gestures. Holding the coin can feel like holding a piece of that optimism, that belief in progress and possibility. This emotional resonance often fuels collecting passion even more than rarity or grade. Coins are tangible history, and the Eisenhower dollar encapsulates a specific moment in American identity. Now, as we reach the culmination of this journey, imagine discovering a 1971 Eisenhower $1 preserved in extraordinary condition, with dazzling surfaces, razor-sharp details, and impeccable eye appeal. Imagine it authenticated, graded at the highest levels, recognized as one of the finest known examples. In the competitive world of high-end numismatics, such a coin becomes more than collectible, it becomes legendary. And when such a specimen appears at a major auction, the room grows quiet, paddles rise, and bids climb with astonishing speed. For a top-tier example of the United States of America Eisenhower $1 1971, collectors have seen values reach as high as $295,000. Top 3. To understand the importance of the 1972 Eisenhower dollar, we must first remember why the series existed at all. After the passing of President Eisenhower in 1969, the nation sought a meaningful way to honor the war hero and former commander-in-chief. At the same time, America's pride in the Apollo 11 moon landing was still fresh. The mint seized the opportunity to combine both themes into a single coin design. The result was a large, commanding dollar coin that symbolized both leadership on Earth and triumph in space. By 1972, the series had already gained attention as the first large dollar coin struck for general circulation since the peace dollar ended in 1935. It represented a bridge between classic silver dollars of the past and the modern clad era of coinage. When you examine a 1972 Eisenhower dollar closely, the obverse immediately captures attention. Eisenhower's portrait, sculpted with firm lines and a steady gaze, radiates strength and calm authority. The word liberty arcs boldly above his head, while in God we trust sits neatly to the left. The date 1972 anchors the design at the bottom, a quiet reminder of a specific moment in American history. The portrait feels substantial, almost monumental, perfectly suited to the coin's large surface. It is not a delicate or intricate design, it is bold, straightforward, and confident, much like the man it honors. Turn the coin over and the reverse tells a story that reaches beyond our planet. An eagle descends toward the lunar surface, wings extended, clutching an olive branch. Beneath it lies the barren moon, and in the distance, the Earth rises over the horizon. This design was inspired by the Apollo 11 mission insignia, making the coin a permanent tribute to one of humanity's greatest achievements. Surrounding the imagery are the inscriptions United States of America and $1, along with E Pluribus Unum. The combination of presidential tribute and lunar celebration makes this coin unique among American dollars. It is not simply currency, it is a medal of memory for both a leader and a leap into space, but here is where the 1972 Eisenhower dollar becomes truly fascinating. Within this single year of issue lies one of the most famous and dramatic reverse varieties in modern American coin collecting. Specialists identify three major reverse types for the Philadelphia Mint coins of 1972, and the differences, though subtle to the untrained eye, can be dramatic in value. Type 1 displays a somewhat indistinct depiction of the Earth, with blurred or poorly defined islands in the Caribbean. Type 2, however, features a sharply defined Earth with clear outlines of Florida and the Caribbean islands, particularly the islands southeast of Florida. Type 3 falls somewhere in between, with moderate clarity but distinct differences in the shaping of the Earth's features. Among these varieties, the Type 2 reverse has achieved near legendary status. Produced from a different reverse hub, it was struck in far smaller numbers than the other types. For years, collectors searched bankrolls and coin jars, examining each 1972 dollar under magnification, hoping to spot the sharper, more detailed Earth that signals the coveted Type 2. This hunt transformed the coin from a simple circulation piece into a thrilling detective story. Coin shows buzzed with conversations about island shapes and globe outlines. Price guides began highlighting the rarity. And slowly, the Type 2 became recognized as the key variety of the entire Eisenhower Dollar series. The 1972 Eisenhower Dollar was also struck at multiple mints. Philadelphia produced coins without a mint mark, Denver struck coins with a small d mint mark, and San Francisco produced special 40% silver versions intended primarily for collectors. The silver issues were sold in blue envelope packaging for uncirculated coins and in elegant brown box packaging for proof coins. While many of these silver coins were carefully preserved, circulation strikes from Philadelphia and Denver often experienced heavy contact marks due to the coin's large size and the way they were stored in mint bags. As a result, high-grade examples of circulation strikes can be surprisingly scarce. Condition plays a massive role in determining desirability. Because the coin is large and its surfaces are broad and open, even small marks are easily visible. Finding a 1972 Eisenhower dollar with minimal bag marks, strong luster, and crisp detail can be challenging. Collectors pay close attention to Eisenhower's cheek and jawline on the obverse, areas that often show wear or contact. On the reverse, the eagle's breast and the fields surrounding the Earth are scrutinized carefully. A coin with booming luster and virtually flawless surfaces can command extraordinary respect in the numismatic community. Error coins add yet another layer of excitement. Off-center strikes, double die varieties, clipped planchets, and dramatic die cracks have all been documented within the 1972 Eisenhower series. Each error tells a story of a moment inside the mint when machinery shifted or a die developed a flaw. These imperfections, once considered mistakes, are now celebrated as unique artifacts. For collectors who crave individuality, an error coin offers something no regular strike can: absolute uniqueness. The thrill of discovering such a piece in an old collection or inherited estate adds to the series' enduring appeal. The broader context of the early 1970s also enhances the coin's narrative. America was navigating political shifts, economic challenges, and technological progress. The space race had ignited imaginations, and the image of Earth from space had reshaped humanity's perspective of itself. The Eisenhower dollar captures that spirit. It honors a military leader who helped secure victory in a global conflict and later guided the nation during tense Cold War years. Simultaneously, it immortalizes the bold exploration that placed American astronauts on the lunar surface. Few coins managed to combine terrestrial leadership and extraterrestrial achievement so seamlessly. As the decades passed, the Eisenhower dollar developed a dedicated following. Collectors began assembling complete date and mint mark sets, carefully distinguishing between reverse types and hunting for pristine specimens. Albums were filled slot by slot, and grading services certified coins in ever higher grades. Population reports revealed how few examples survived in top condition, especially for the coveted 1972 Type II variety. What once circulated casually through banks and casinos now appeared under bright auction lights, displayed in protective holders, admired as miniature works of art. The silver issues from San Francisco add another dimension to the story. Their 40% silver composition gives them a slightly different weight and ring when gently tapped. Proof versions exhibit mirror-like fields and frosted devices, creating a dramatic contrast that highlights the design's depth. Collectors often cherish these silver proofs for their beauty, even when their mintages were relatively high. Yet, in exceptional condition, even these pieces can achieve remarkable status among enthusiasts who appreciate flawless surfaces and sharp strikes. One cannot ignore the nostalgia attached to the Eisenhower dollar. For many Americans, it represents a childhood memory of receiving a large dollar coin as a novelty, perhaps from a grandparent or as change from a bank. Its size made it feel special, almost ceremonial. Over time, that nostalgia has fueled renewed interest in the series. Coins once tucked away in drawers have resurfaced, prompting new generations to examine them more closely. What seemed ordinary decades ago now carries historical weight and collector intrigue. The 1972 Eisenhower dollar stands as a testament to how subtle design variations can transform value. The difference between a common reverse and the scarce Type II lies in small details of geography etched into metal. Yet those small details can mean the difference between modest worth and extraordinary demand. This dynamic underscores a central truth in numismatics: knowledge is power. The more you understand about a coin's varieties, condition, and history, the better equipped you are to recognize hidden potential. Imagine the thrill of identifying a genuine 1972 Type II reverse in exceptional condition, its surfaces gleaming, its details razor-sharp, authenticated and graded among the finest known examples. Such a coin becomes more than a collectible, it becomes a trophy of patience and expertise. In competitive auctions, where serious collectors pursue the best of the best, bidding can escalate rapidly. The room grows quiet, eyes fix on the prize, and paddles rise in steady succession. For a top-tier, finest known example of the United States of America Eisenhower $1 1972, particularly the rare and celebrated Type II reverse in extraordinary condition, values have reached as high as $290,000. Top 4. Dwight David Eisenhower, the man featured on the obverse of the coin, was more than a president or a military leader. He was a symbol of calm strength during turbulent times. His leadership as Supreme Commander during World War II and his subsequent presidency left a legacy of stability and vision. In 1971, the Eisenhower Dollar series was introduced to honor this remarkable figure. By 1974, the series had become well established, yet collectors already recognized that subtle variations, mint marks, and strike quality could make certain coins far more valuable than others. The Denver Mint, which produced the 1974 D Eisenhower Dollar, played a pivotal role in creating these variations, adding a layer of depth to what might otherwise appear to be a standard issue coin. The obverse of the 1974 D Eisenhower Dollar features a striking, dignified portrait of Eisenhower. Sculpted by chief engraver Frank Gasparo, the portrait captures the general-turned-president with a sense of calm authority. The word Liberty arches across the top, while In God We Trust appears prominently near his chin. The date, 1974, sits firmly at the base, with a small D mint mark indicating the Denver origin. Every line of the engraving conveys weight and significance, reminding anyone who holds it that this coin was designed to honor a leader whose decisions shaped the course of history. When examining the obverse closely, subtle details such as the fine hairlines and the crisp lettering reveal the skill and precision of the Mint's engraving team. The reverse of the coin is equally iconic. An eagle, wings outstretched, descends toward the lunar surface clutching an olive branch, while the Earth rises above the horizon in the background. This design was inspired by the Apollo 11 mission insignia, connecting the coin to one of America's greatest technological achievements. The words United States of America and $1 frame the design, and E pluribus unum reminds viewers of the nation's unity. Every element of the reverse communicates ambition, achievement, and a forward-looking perspective, while simultaneously honoring Eisenhower's contributions on Earth. For collectors, examining the eagle's feathers, the texture of the lunar surface, and the Earth in the distance is part of the thrill, as even the smallest differences in strike can distinguish one coin from another. The 1974 Eisenhower Dollar presents a number of collecting challenges and opportunities. Circulation strikes were made primarily in copper-nickel-clad composition over a pure copper core. While these coins were produced in large numbers for general circulation, their size and weight made them more susceptible to contact marks and abrasions during handling. Finding a 1974 in flawless, uncirculated condition is far from easy, and this scarcity in top condition is what drives much of its collectible appeal. Coins with sharp strikes, intact luster, and minimal surface imperfections are highly sought after. In addition to general strike quality, subtle die variations play a crucial role in the 1974 Eisenhower Dollar series. Minor differences in the eagle's wing feathers, the positioning of the Earth, and even the lettering on the reverse can create distinct varieties that collectors seek to identify. Numismatists use magnification and careful observation to discern these variations, sometimes discovering minor double dies or hub adjustments that make a coin significantly more valuable. Each discovery is a testament to the intricate process of minting, where thousands of pounds of metal, hundreds of dies, and precise machinery come together to create millions of coins. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint offer yet another dimension to the series, although the 1974 is specifically a circulation strike. Nevertheless, comparing the Denver circulation strikes to the silver-clad proof coins reveals how the Mint could achieve remarkable detail in different production methods. Proof coins benefit from polished dies and specially prepared planchets, resulting in mirror-like fields and frosted design elements that showcase every minute detail of Eisenhower's portrait and the reverse eagle. For collectors, examining differences in contrast, strike depth, and surface preservation between circulation and proof coins is an essential part of understanding the series as a whole. The 1974 Eisenhower Dollar also exemplifies the impact of population and survival rates on collectible value. While millions of coins were produced, only a fraction have survived in top condition decades later. Many circulated, acquiring scratches, dents, and toning that reduce their grade. Others were stored poorly, exposed to humidity or chemical reactions that altered their appearance. High-grade examples that remain today are rarities not because of limited mintage but because of the passage of time and the rigors of circulation. This dynamic is a core principle in modern numismatics. Condition scarcity can be as critical as mintage numbers in determining value. Collectors are also drawn to the 1974 Eisenhower Dollar because it represents a broader narrative of American history. The Eisenhower Dollar series was the first large dollar issued since the peace dollars ended decades earlier. It marked a modern return to large-size coins, bridging historical tradition and contemporary minting practices. Holding a 1974 coin provides a tangible connection to this period of American history, linking the story of a revered president with the technological achievement of the Apollo missions and the broader cultural context of the early 70s. Errors and anomalies in the 1974 series add a further layer of intrigue. From slightly off-center strikes to minor doubling on letters or devices, these imperfections are part of the story of how coins were produced. While some errors were rejected or corrected at the mint, others slipped into circulation, where they became treasures for collectors decades later. The excitement of uncovering an unexpected anomaly in a coin otherwise thought to be ordinary continues to fuel searches in collections, coin rolls, and even inherited coin jars. Condition designations such as red, red-brown, and brown, commonly applied to copper-based coinage, are less relevant for copper-nickel-clad Eisenhower dollars, but luster and eye appeal remain critical. Coins that exhibit full original shine, sharp strikes, and unaltered surfaces are prized above all. Professional grading services assess these aspects with meticulous care, assigning numeric grades that can dramatically influence value. Only a small percentage of the surviving 1974 Eisenhower dollars achieve the very highest grades, reinforcing their desirability among serious collectors. The 1974 Eisenhower dollar is also historically significant as a representation of the era's minting capabilities and techniques. Large planchets, complex dies, and high-speed coining presses were required to produce millions of coins efficiently, yet with sufficient detail to honor Eisenhower and the Apollo mission. Understanding the technical aspects of how these coins were made deepens appreciation for their artistry and durability. It also emphasizes why certain minting errors or minor variations occur. They are natural byproducts of the monumental industrial process behind each coin. Over the decades, collectors have developed an appreciation for the 1974 Eisenhower dollar as both a historical artifact and a modern collectible. Its large surface area makes it an ideal canvas for examining strike quality, die characteristics, and overall design elegance. Collectors enjoy comparing examples, noting subtle differences, and discussing how survival rates and grading influence market value. The combination of historical significance, design quality, and condition rarity creates an enduring appeal that transcends mere monetary value. The coin also represents the broader cultural and emotional connections Americans have with numismatics. Many people remember receiving Eisenhower dollars as novelty coins or in change, storing them in drawers or albums. The sense of nostalgia attached to these coins drives renewed interest, encouraging collectors to revisit older collections and re-examine coins for rare varieties or top-grade examples. This emotional resonance adds a layer of meaning to the 1974 Eisenhower dollar, transforming it from a simple circulation piece into a cherished part of personal and national history. Among the finest known examples, preserved in extraordinary condition and verified by professional grading, the 1974 Eisenhower $1 has achieved astonishing market recognition. Collectors and investors alike recognize its scarcity in top condition, the precision of its strike, and its place in numismatic history. The value of a top-tier, perfectly preserved 1974 Eisenhower $1 has reached as high as $280,000. Top 5. The Eisenhower Dollar series was introduced in 1971 to honor Dwight David Eisenhower, a five-star general and the 34th President of the United States. Eisenhower's legacy as a military leader during World War II and his calm, steady leadership as president earned him national respect. By 1974, his portrait had become a familiar sight on the obverse of the Dollar series. Chief engraver Frank Gasparo's design captures Eisenhower with a dignified, stoic expression, reflecting both his military command and presidential authority. The obverse features the word liberty above his head, "In God We Trust" to the left, and the date, 1974, at the bottom. Unlike coins that circulated widely in small denominations, the Eisenhower dollar commands attention with its large, substantial size, making every detail more prominent and every imperfection more noticeable. The reverse of the 1974 Eisenhower dollar is equally iconic, featuring an eagle descending onto the lunar surface, clutching an olive branch, with the Earth rising in the background. This design is inspired by the Apollo 11 mission insignia and serves as a permanent tribute to the United States' extraordinary achievement of landing astronauts on the Moon. The inscriptions "United States of America" and $1 frame the design, while "E Pluribus Unum" reminds collectors of the nation's unity. Each element of the design carries symbolism: the eagle for strength, the olive branch for peace, the moon for exploration, and the earth for perspective. For collectors, examining the details on the eagle's feathers, the lunar surface, and the Earth's continents is part of the thrill, as subtle differences in striking or die characteristics can significantly affect a coin's rarity and value. In 1974, coins were struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, creating minor variations that collectors now meticulously study. The Denver mint pieces carry a small D mint mark, while the Philadelphia strikes often lack any mint mark. Even though millions were produced, the challenge lies in finding examples that remain in pristine condition decades later. Circulation strikes often show bag marks, abrasions, and contact points from being transported in bulk, making high-grade examples scarce. Condition, therefore, becomes the most critical factor for collectors seeking the finest 1974 Eisenhower dollars. One of the most intriguing aspects of this coin is the subtle die varieties and errors that can occur during minting. Even within a single year, differences in die preparation, hubbing, and pressure can produce coins with slightly altered details. Collectors scrutinize the eagle's wing feathers, the contours of the moon, and the outlines of the Earth's continents, seeking minor differences that can define a coin as a key variety. Some of these variations are so small that only magnification reveals them, yet they can dramatically increase a coin's desirability. The pursuit of these rare varieties has turned the 1974 Eisenhower dollar into a coin of detective-like intrigue for modern collectors. Silver-clad proof coins struck at the San Francisco Mint add another layer to the story, although the 1974 circulation strikes are primarily copper-nickel-clad. The silver issues showcase the Mint's ability to produce mirror-like fields and frosted design elements, resulting in a dramatic cameo effect. Observing the contrast between the reflective surfaces and the raised designs highlights the level of artistry achieved by the Mint. While the proof coins were primarily for collectors, they provide an excellent reference for evaluating circulation strikes, showing the full potential of sharpness, detail, and surface quality. Condition and preservation are paramount when it comes to evaluating the 1974 Eisenhower dollar. Its large size makes it susceptible to bag marks, scratches, and minor abrasions, so coins that survive in nearly flawless condition are extremely valuable. Experts examine every aspect, from Eisenhower's hairlines and cheek detail on the obverse to the eagle's wings, the lunar surface, and the globe on the reverse. Luster, strike sharpness, and eye appeal are critical metrics that determine a coin's grade. Population reports from professional grading services reveal that only a small percentage of 1974 Eisenhower dollars survive in top condition, reinforcing their scarcity. Collectors are also drawn to this coin because of the broader historical and cultural context it represents. The early 1970s were a pivotal time in American history, with the nation navigating political, social, and economic changes while achieving monumental technological progress in space exploration. The Eisenhower Dollar series encapsulates this dual narrative, honoring a respected president while commemorating the achievements of the Apollo missions. Holding a 1974 Eisenhower dollar connects the collector directly to that era, making it a tangible piece of history rather than a mere piece of metal. Error coins within the 1974 series add an additional layer of intrigue and excitement. Off-center strikes, die cracks, and doubled dies are examples of anomalies that occasionally appear in this issue. These errors are not just minting mishaps, they are opportunities for collectors to acquire coins with unique stories. The rarity and individuality of error coins have made them highly sought after, sometimes commanding prices far beyond standard circulation strikes, especially when combined with high-grade preservation. The 1974 Eisenhower dollar also represents a return to large, silver-colored dollar coins for general circulation, a practice that had not been common since the peace dollars ended decades earlier. The coin bridges the gap between historical silver dollars and modern minting practices, combining traditional symbolism with contemporary techniques. Its size, weight, and design make it immediately recognizable, and its presence in circulation helped establish a sense of continuity in the history of American coinage. For collectors, it represents a significant moment in the evolution of U.S. coins. The size of the coin itself makes it a marvel of minting. The planchet must be perfectly prepared, and the striking pressure carefully calibrated to ensure even detail across the obverse and reverse. Any misalignment or slight imperfection can result in reduced sharpness or minor errors. Coins that emerge from the mint with flawless surfaces and sharp, well-defined detail are exceedingly rare. The large surface area also makes imperfections more noticeable, which is why top-grade examples of the 1974 Eisenhower dollar are so coveted. Over the decades, collectors have come to appreciate the 1974 Eisenhower dollar not just for its design or historical context, but also for the challenge it presents. Searching for high-grade examples, identifying die varieties, and spotting subtle errors has created a dynamic and engaging collector community. Coin shows, online forums, and grading services all reflect the ongoing interest in this series. The thrill of discovery is a key part of the Eisenhower Dollar's enduring appeal, and collectors continue to find new ways to explore the nuances of these coins. Beyond numismatic value, the coin carries emotional and cultural significance. Many collectors recall receiving Eisenhower dollars as novelty coins or in change, perhaps storing them in piggy banks or coin albums. The coin's large size and distinctive design made it memorable, even for those who were unaware of its potential value. Revisiting these coins today allows collectors to reconnect with personal memories and broader historical narratives simultaneously, blending nostalgia with financial and historical awareness. Professional grading has further elevated the status of 1974 Eisenhower dollars. High-grade examples, particularly those that are well-preserved with sharp strikes and full luster, are extremely scarce. Grading services meticulously examine every detail of the coin, considering strike quality, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal. Coins that achieve the highest grades become benchmark examples for the series, often commanding extraordinary interest at auctions and private sales. The 1974 Eisenhower dollar continues to fascinate not just for its intrinsic qualities, but for the story it tells about the United States during the early 70s. It symbolizes a period of ambition, resilience, and achievement, bridging the past with the modern era. Its design reflects both respect for leadership and celebration of technological triumph, combining to create a coin that is visually striking, historically meaningful, and collectible. Among the rarest and most exceptional examples of the 1974 Eisenhower dollar, coins preserved in extraordinary condition have achieved astonishing recognition in the numismatic world. Their combination of historical significance, design excellence, and top-grade preservation makes them benchmarks of modern coin collecting. A top-tier 1974 Eisenhower dollar, perfectly struck and meticulously preserved, has reached a value of $277,000. Top 6. Dwight D. Eisenhower, whose visage adorns the obverse of the coin, remains one of America's most iconic leaders. As Supreme Commander during World War II and later as President, Eisenhower embodied the ideals of strength, strategy, and calm authority. The United States Mint, under the leadership of Chief Engraver Frank Gasparro, immortalized Eisenhower in a portrait that is both dignified and approachable. The obverse design features the word Liberty prominently above his head, with the date 1977 and the mint mark, when applicable, displayed at the bottom. "In God We Trust" is placed strategically near his chin, reminding observers of the guiding principles of the nation. Every line, every detail of Eisenhower's portrait was carefully considered to convey the weight of his leadership and the enduring respect he commanded. The reverse design continues this narrative by celebrating one of the most extraordinary achievements in human history, the Apollo 11 moon landing. The eagle, clutching an olive branch, descends onto the lunar surface with the Earth rising in the distance behind it. United States of America and $1 encircle the image, while E Pluribus Unum is inscribed nearby. This design not only honors the astronaut's achievement but also reinforces America's technological prowess and aspiration for exploration. The composition and artistry of the reverse make it a focal point for collectors, who examine the eagle's feathers, the lunar craters, and the contours of the Earth for striking quality and subtle differences among coins. The 1977 Eisenhower dollar was struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Philadelphia coins often lacked a mint mark, while Denver coins were marked with a small d beneath the date. While millions were produced for circulation, only a fraction have survived in pristine condition. The large size of the coin makes it more prone to bag marks, abrasions, and contact points, which can significantly affect collector interest and value. Coins that maintain sharp details, strong luster, and minimal surface imperfections are rare, which is a major reason why the 1977 Eisenhower dollar is so sought after among collectors today. Minting variations and die differences add an additional layer of intrigue to the 1977 issue. Minor differences in the reverse design, such as the depiction of the Earth or the depth of the eagle's feathers, can create distinct varieties. Collectors and numismatists scrutinize these subtle distinctions, often using magnification to identify small differences that may dramatically impact a coin's desirability. These varieties have turned the 1977 Eisenhower dollar into more than a standard circulating coin. It has become a piece of detective work for collectors, with enthusiasts hunting for coins that display the rarest and most precise features. While circulation strikes were produced for everyday transactions, silver collector versions from the San Francisco Mint added further depth to the series, though 1977 circulation coins are primarily copper-nickel clad. Silver proofs and uncirculated coins were often sold in special packaging, with polished planchets and cameo finishes enhancing the artistry of the design. Comparing these proof versions with circulation strikes highlights the Mint's capability to achieve striking detail and artistic depth across different production methods, and provides a standard by which collectors can evaluate the sharpness and quality of circulation coins. Condition is paramount when evaluating a 1977 Eisenhower dollar. Due to its large size, every mark, scratch, or imperfection is readily visible, and coins in top condition are scarce. Professionals examine the details of Eisenhower's portrait on the obverse, looking at the cheek, jawline, and hairlines for sharpness. On the reverse, the eagle, the lunar surface, and the Earth's continents are closely observed. Luster, strike quality, and overall eye appeal are all critical in determining a coin's grade, and coins that meet the highest standards are extremely rare. Error coins and anomalies add another level of excitement to this issue. Off-center strikes, die cracks, and doubled dies are among the documented errors, each representing a unique moment in the minting process. These errors, once considered mistakes, are now highly prized for their uniqueness and rarity. Collectors often pay a premium for such examples, particularly when the coin also retains strong surfaces and sharp detail, making error coins both a historical curiosity and a valuable collectible. The 1977 Eisenhower dollar also represents a pivotal moment in modern U.S. coinage. It was part of the first large dollar series issued since the peace dollars ended decades earlier, bridging the gap between historic silver coinage and contemporary production. Its large format allowed for detailed portraits and reverse designs, making it both a functional coin and a collectible item. The coin reflects the Mint's efforts to maintain tradition while embracing the technological capabilities of the 70s, providing collectors with a tangible connection to this transformative era. The Eisenhower dollar's large size and substantial weight make it stand out from other coins in circulation, contributing to its iconic status. The planchet preparation and the striking process required precision, and even minor deviations during production could create variations or errors. Coins that emerged with exceptional strike quality, well-preserved surfaces, and full luster are extremely rare and are highly sought after by collectors who appreciate both their historical and aesthetic value. Collectors have long appreciated the 1977 Eisenhower dollar not only for its design and history but also for the challenges it presents. Hunting for high-grade examples, identifying subtle die varieties, and spotting rare errors have made this series a favorite among numismatists. Coin shows, auctions, and collector communities continue to showcase these coins, highlighting the ongoing fascination with both the artistry and history of the Eisenhower dollar series. The emotional resonance of the coin cannot be understated. Many collectors recall receiving Eisenhower dollars in circulation, storing them in albums or piggy banks, and marveling at their size and design. The coin serves as a bridge to personal and national history, offering a tactile connection to the era of Eisenhower's presidency and the cultural backdrop of the Apollo missions. For many, the 1977 Eisenhower dollar evokes memories of a simpler time, when coins were not only a medium of exchange but also symbols of achievement and pride. Professional grading has elevated the status of high-quality 1977 Eisenhower dollars. Grading services assess each coin meticulously, considering strike sharpness, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal. Only a small fraction of these coins achieve the highest grades, making them exceptionally rare and highly valuable. High-grade specimens often become the centerpiece of collections, and their scarcity fuels both demand and competition among collectors. The coin's broader historical context enhances its collectible appeal. 1977 was a period of technological advancement, political change, and economic challenge in the United States. The Eisenhower dollar encapsulates these themes by commemorating a respected president and celebrating the monumental achievement of lunar exploration. The coin serves as a miniature time capsule, connecting collectors to an era of ambition, resilience, and innovation. Subtle differences in the coin's design, such as variations in the eagle's wings, the lunar surface, and the Earth's outline, are particularly important to collectors. These small details can signify rare varieties that are highly prized in the market. Even minor variations in strike depth or relief can impact value, making close examination and expert evaluation essential for serious collectors. Over time, the 1977 Eisenhower dollar has maintained its status as a sought-after collectible. Circulated examples often show wear, but top-grade coins are increasingly rare. Collectors continue to pursue these coins for their historical significance, aesthetic appeal, and potential value, contributing to the ongoing vitality of the Eisenhower dollar market. Ultimately, the 1977 Eisenhower dollar embodies the principles of modern numismatics: historical significance, condition rarity, artistic achievement, and the thrill of discovery. Exceptional specimens preserved in pristine condition are benchmarks of the series and highly prized by collectors and investors alike. The value of a top-tier, perfectly preserved 1977 Eisenhower dollar has reached $265,000. Top 7. Dwight D. Eisenhower, featured on the obverse of the coin, was more than a president or a military leader. He was a symbol of strategy, calm authority, and enduring American ideals. As Supreme Commander during World War II, he orchestrated some of the most pivotal military campaigns in history. Later, as the 34th President of the United States, he navigated the nation through complex domestic and international challenges with a steady hand. Chief engraver Frank Gasparro immortalized Eisenhower in a portrait that captures both his strength and his approachability. Liberty is prominently inscribed above his head, "In God We Trust" sits near the lower left, and the date 1978 is placed at the bottom, accompanied by a mint mark for coins struck at Denver or Philadelphia. Every detail in the portrait, from the contours of his face to the fine lines of his hair, reflects a dedication to realism and respect, making the obverse a work of numismatic art as much as it is currency. The reverse design carries even greater symbolic weight, celebrating America's extraordinary achievement of the Apollo 11 moon landing. An eagle descends gracefully onto the lunar surface, clutching an olive branch, while the Earth rises majestically in the background. United States of America and $1 frame the composition, with E pluribus unum serving as a reminder of the unity of the nation. The design conveys ambition, peace, and accomplishment all at once. Collectors and historians alike are drawn to the intricate details, the texture of the lunar craters, the contouring of the eagle's feathers, and the delicate rendering of the continents on Earth. Even the smallest nuances in the strike can distinguish a common example from a rare variety, making close examination essential. The 1978 Eisenhower dollar was minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Philadelphia strikes are typically without a mint mark, while Denver pieces carry the characteristic D below the date. Though millions were produced, survival in exceptional condition is rare. The coin's large size makes it prone to bag marks and abrasions during circulation, meaning that high-grade, well-preserved examples are highly desirable. Collectors often focus on coins that retain sharp detail and full luster, with minimal contact marks, as these are far less common than the coins that circulated for everyday transactions. Varieties and subtle minting differences further enhance the coin's collectible appeal. Even within a single year, minor differences in die preparation, hubbing, and striking pressure can produce distinct versions of the coin. Collectors closely examine the eagle's wing feathers, the lunar surface, and the Earth's continents to identify these varieties, some of which are highly prized in the market. Certain die adjustments or minor doubled dies are so subtle that only magnification can reveal them, but they can dramatically affect the coin's rarity and value. This aspect transforms collecting Eisenhower dollars into a detective-like pursuit, combining history, observation, and strategy, While circulation strikes dominate this series, San Francisco also produced silver-clad collector coins during this era. These silver proofs and uncirculated coins featured 40% silver composition and were often sold in special packaging that highlighted their mirror-like surfaces and frosted design elements. Although 1978 circulation coins are primarily copper-nickel clad, the silver proofs provide a benchmark for evaluating strike quality and surface preservation, offering a window into the mint's capabilities for producing detailed, high-quality coins. Condition remains the critical factor for collectors when evaluating the 1978 Eisenhower dollar. Because of its size, every mark or imperfection is readily visible, and coins that maintain pristine surfaces are exceedingly rare. Experts examine the obverse, focusing on Eisenhower's cheek, jawline, and hairline, while the reverse is scrutinized for detail in the eagle's wings, the lunar surface, and the Earth's continents. Coins with full luster, sharp strikes, and minimal marks are particularly valued, and such examples often command the highest prices at auction. Error coins within the series add another dimension of interest. Off-center strikes, die cracks, and minor double dies have all been documented, creating opportunities for collectors to acquire coins with unique features. These errors, often considered mistakes at the time of production, have become highly collectible, especially when combined with excellent preservation. A rare error can elevate a 1978 Eisenhower dollar from a valuable collector's coin to an extraordinary prize, appealing to both numismatic enthusiasts and investors alike. The 1978 Eisenhower dollar is also significant as a representation of the mint's technical capabilities in the 70s. Large coins require careful planchet preparation, precise die engraving, and exact striking pressure to achieve the desired detail. Variations in any of these processes can result in subtle differences or errors, while successful production ensures a coin with sharp features and long-lasting luster. The combination of size, design complexity, and production challenges makes this coin a technical marvel as well as a historical artifact. Collectors are drawn to the 1978 Eisenhower dollar not only for its historical significance but also for the thrill of discovery. Hunting for high-grade examples, identifying subtle die varieties, and spotting unique errors transforms the coin from a simple monetary piece into a fascinating puzzle. Coin shows, auctions, and numismatic communities provide venues to share knowledge, compare findings, and trade coins, sustaining interest in the series for generations. The emotional and cultural resonance of the Eisenhower dollar adds to its appeal. Many collectors recall receiving these coins in circulation, perhaps storing them in coin albums, piggy banks, or drawers, fascinated by their size and detailed design. The 1978 issue carries nostalgia, connecting collectors to both personal memories and the broader historical events it commemorates. It is a coin that not only holds monetary value but also evokes the spirit of its era. Professional grading has further solidified the coin's collectible status. Grading services examine each coin meticulously, considering strike quality, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal. Only a fraction of 1978 Eisenhower dollars achieve the highest grades, making these examples exceptionally rare and highly valuable. High-grade coins often serve as benchmarks for collectors, guiding evaluations and setting market expectations. Historical context enhances the coin's significance. 1978 was a year of social, political, and economic change in the United States. The Eisenhower Dollar series embodies these themes, commemorating a respected president while celebrating the nation's achievements in space exploration. The coin functions as a miniature historical artifact, providing collectors with a tangible link to an era of ambition, progress, and national pride. Subtle differences in the design, particularly on the reverse, can create rare and valuable varieties. The depiction of the eagle's wings, the relief of the lunar surface, and the contours of Earth are closely examined by specialists. Minor variations can signify coins that are far more desirable, demonstrating how careful observation and knowledge can dramatically influence a coin's market value. Over the decades, the 1978 Eisenhower dollar has maintained its reputation as a collectible and highly desirable coin. Circulated coins often display wear, while the number of high-grade, pristine examples continues to decline. Collectors are willing to pay significant sums for coins that retain sharp detail, original luster, and minimal imperfections, ensuring the series remains vibrant and sought after. Ultimately, the 1978 Eisenhower dollar embodies the key principles of modern numismatics: historical significance, artistic achievement, conditioned rarity, and the thrill of discovery. Exceptional examples preserved in pristine condition are highly prized by collectors and investors alike. The value of a top-tier, perfectly preserved 1978 Eisenhower dollar has reached $260,000.